believe you can't lead others if you can't lead yourself first. And one of the most important things to really start getting clear and grounded in is who you are and what's important to you. So in the module, The Essential You, we take a really deep dive into you. So if you dive into that, you've got pages and pages and tons of resources to play with. But I wanted to bring your attention to 3 primary things that you can start playing with right now. So these 3 things are your vision, your values, and your purpose. So when you think about the essential you is really you without any external forces, without anybody telling you who you should be. Well, but how do you know who you are and what's important to you? Well, that's where we tap into vision, values, and purpose. So you get to dive in as much as you want, but here are the 3 things you get to do right now. First thing I want you to look at is your purpose. Why is it that you get out of bed every morning? Why is it that you do the work that you do? Why do you work for the company you work for? What's important to you? The why is your gold, it is fuel. A lot of people think that to find their purpose, they have to go meditate on a mountain for 6 months to figure it out, or they've got to think about it for 10 years, and they spend a ton of time and energy looking for what their purpose is, and they waste a lot of time. I believe that you can actually access purpose like that if you get really present and in tune to what's happening for you. So a couple things to look at. Why do you do the work that you do? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? What's the most important thing to you? Another place to look. At the end of your life, we're all at your funeral. What are we saying about you? What is the impact you had with your life? What were you an instrument of change for? Third place to look, you have a total abundance of finances. Where are you putting your time, your energy, and your heart? Total abundance of finances. What is it you contribute to? These are 3 places that if you start to peek into them, dig a little bit deeper, and you get really in tune with yourself, your purpose is actually surrounding you. One of my favorite things to do is to sit down with a really good friend and to talk about these kinds of questions and to really have them reflect back what they see in us. So let's take another deep dive into the essential you. Let's look at your values. So values work is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. And again, it doesn't have to take a long time. You can actually do it right now with me. Your values are the things that you hold dearest, the qualities, the aspirations, the ways of being, things that are you. It makes up who you are. They're pretty non-negotiable. You'll find that if you're not in alignment with your values, you're going to feel energetically out of alignment with yourself. You're going to actually feel that ick. Things are going to trigger you a little bit more than usual. People are going to piss you off a little bit more than usual. Like, these are things to start paying attention to. So the way you start to look for values is, don't even think about this too much. Just hit pause on me right now and actually look at, what do you think your top 10 values are? The top 10 things that you absolutely stand for. So examples here might be vitality. It might be contribution. It might be inclusiveness. It could be excellence. It could be productivity. It could be patience. Like, I want you just to look, what is it that you're a stand for in your life? All right, that's step 1. The next thing to look at is, as you list those 10 values, start to notice how well you're honoring them. So on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being you're completely out of alignment and 10 being you are humming along, you're completely congruent with yourself, where would you put yourself right now? Now, if you find yourself at a 3, not a big deal. So much of this work is just about awareness and noticing where you're at right now. And what's the next thing I can do to actually shift it, if I want to shift it? The thing that's tricky about values, or it's tricky or powerful, whatever your perspective is that most people think that fulfillment comes from when they get something. They get that book deal, they have that baby, they get married, they get a car, they get a promotion, whatever it might be. But actually, fulfillment happens right now in this moment, the more you're in alignment with your values. So do the work, sketch these out, and notice what you notice. The third place I want you to look is your vision. All right, so visioning to me is one of the most important, valuable things we can do for ourselves. And the lovely thing is, while I'm asking you to do this for yourself as an individual, you can also do this with your team. So you want to look at your vision. Where do you want to be a year from now? What do you want your life to look like? Where do you want to be 3 years from now? When you do a vision, what happens is you set yourself up energetically and also physically to start looking to create the things that you want. One of the most powerful things that I see when people do visioning is it gives them permission to want what they want. We tend to tune our little wanting dial down as we go through our lives. We get really busy. We tune that down and we forget what it is we're trying to create. And in this way, a lot of times life starts to happen to us. So instead, if we start to really look at what is the vision I want to have, what do I want to create with my life, all of a sudden I'm back in the driver's seat and I get to happen to my life. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to map out perfectly, but it does mean that I'm giving myself information that's going to guide me over the next year and is going to help me guide my decisions. All right, so here's what you do with visioning. Sit down, turn this off, go grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever's going to make you really happy, and go and sit down and imagine a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 months from now, whatever resonates for you. What do you want your life to look like? You can do this for your whole life. You can do this for your business. You can do this for your next project. I created my entire business out of visioning actually 12 years ago. So big stuff, little stuff, have fun with it. When you put your vision together, when you put your purpose together, when you put your values together, that's a pretty strong combination. So play with this. The stronger you are in these 3 things together, the stronger you are here, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to discern what decisions you want to make, what you say yes and no to, and also to be really clear in your leadership about how you want to show up. So have fun with this.